Okay, there's two reasons to watch this video here. A, this is scary alone. Okay, these actual little slaughter bots that they're showing here are scary, but it's side talk. Okay, this is side talk for a technology that's invisible, and it's nano drones. All right, it's nanotechnology that's everywhere. It's floating. I'm pretty sure they've been dumping it in chemtrails, and I'm pretty sure you can trace that back to NATO. All right, and I think the generals were had on this thing. I think they were told that it would block out the radiation as the magnetosphere, gets weak, and that was all they were told. But they left out a little detail that the chemtrails are the nanotechnology in the chemtrails was going to turn everybody in the country into a bunch of zombie slaves. And it's not just everybody in the country, okay? It's everybody around the world, all right? I mean, they've been spraying this shit everywhere. The nanotechnology's everywhere. But this is side talk, and it basically tells you everything you need to know about nanotechnology. So whenever you watch this video here, and I'm just going to let it play, think in the back of your mind that these little these little small drones that they're talking about, these palm-sized flying killer robots, are actually nanotechnology, because it's side talk for what's really going on. And you can't see this technology. You can't see it. It is invading the minds of everybody. And I'm starting to wonder if the government doesn't know who did it. And I'm almost convinced at this point that it was NATO, just left out, some minor details whenever they said, hey, we need to spray the skies with chemicals in order to block out radiation while the magnetosphere is going to start getting weak. Which, that was a great idea, but like I said, I think the military, the United States military, might have got lied to a little bit here, and I'm hoping that y'all are really figuring out what's going on.
Customer pilots directed almost 3,000 precision strikes last year. We're super proud of it. It allows you to separate the bad guys from the good. It's a big deal. But we have something...
Okay, the nanotechnology allows you to separate the bad guys from the good. This nanotechnology is state-of-the-art, sophisticated technology. It gets in your mind, and it can actually read your thoughts, okay? It can pull memories. So if it pulls a memory that it thinks is accurate, I've already been through this, and to prove a point, I pushed some memories in there, okay? And having sex with a giraffe on a ladder. I actually believe that. I swear, you got to trick this thing, okay? CIA, I think y'all know what I'm talking about here. I was playing a little games with this thing. I've never climbed up on a ladder and fucked a giraffe, okay? There was some other things I kind of put in there too, but what it does is it gets in your brain, and they're using this as the judge, jury, and executioner, okay? This nanotechnology is getting in people's minds, and it'll just destroy them if it thinks that they're an enemy of the state, all right? I'm a veteran, okay? And the only reason that it thought that I would be an enemy of the state was because I was married to a Russian that I brought home from Korea. Okay, and that's the only reason that I could think that this nanotechnology would come here and do this to me. And I think the only reason that I can know what's going on is because I have other technology that the military put inside of me to make sure that when this day comes, they can forecast future events. And I promise you, I was set up for this.
Much bigger. Your kids probably have one of these, right?
This shit's so evil.
Not quite. Hell of a pilot? No. That skill is all AI. It's flying itself.
Now imagine nanotechnology that does this.
times faster than a human.
You don't even know it's there.
Is an anti-sniper.
President Putin, in a speech not too long ago, said it undermines your body and your mind, and sometimes you don't even know it. I've got a video that's Putin's dog whistles on my channel. This is exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about this nanotechnology. He's been invaded with it too. If you're a nonconformist country for the New World Order, you're being invaded right now by technology that will make you conform. You remember when Warburg said a one world government will be achieved either by consent or conquest? Well, they knew that this technology existed. But what's really funny is this technology came from Hitler, and President Putin or President Gorbachev sent a scientist to Israel to give it to him. Okay, they thought that he defected. They took the technology over there on purpose because they got a trip code on this shit. All right, I promise you.
Just like any mobile device these days, it has cameras and sensors, and just like your
Okay, this nanotechnology will form in a little spider web. It'll get into a little collection and it'll form in a spider web, right? It looks like a spider web and it just spirals. Okay, that is a camera. Now, got to keep in mind, I'm a cyborg, so I can see the technology. Okay, and my mind's been wired to see it. Now, it forms a camera and it just sits there and watches you, right? It watches you do everything all day long. All right, it gets in your mind, and then there's another nano out there that floats around you, and it's just a little camera, and it sends this. It uses hidden carrier frequencies in the cellular platforms to transmit data back and forth. And the actual, I mean, it's almost like 1080i, but it's not. It's kind of like a cartoon looking thing. If you got a heads up display, you can see it, and I'm just explaining, I thought this video would be good to kind of go through.
And social media apps. It does facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive.
Okay, in the nanotechnology, it is a weapon. Okay, it will get in your brain. It gave me a stroke. It's given me 3 heart attacks. All right, whenever it got in my brain and went through my blood vessels to get attached to my neurons, I had a stroke. Okay, I was rushed to the hospital. Turns out after that I was fine. That's whenever I started seeing things. And what's really odd is this FBI thing, struck stroke page. That's exactly what happened to me with this technology. It struck. I had a stroke, and then I ended up with pages of information. And it's just another one of them peculiar things. I'm telling you, everything in the media is fake news. Everything is. And there's little hints in there that'll tell you kind of what's what. And struck stroke page, you hear that over and over and over again. That's exactly what happened to me. It struck, I had a stroke, and then I ended up with pages of information.
This is how it works.
This is hyperbole, all right? I'm sure they have this weapon, but they made this video to tell you exactly what's going on with this nanotechnology.
Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents.
Oh, and not to mention, whenever this nanotechnology, there was 3 explosions on my head. I don't know if that's when it was getting in or if it comes in. It crawls up your ass. I mean, you can feel it. I mean, this shit gets in your blood one way or the other, all right? You can feel it coming in. Now, there was 3 explosions on my head that just like that, whenever, I don't know how it does it, all right? It was like an electrical pulse or something. I don't know what it was doing, if it was setting up some sort of a relay or something on top of my scalp. I've seen some videos where that people say that this remote neural monitoring manipulation, that as soon as they hear that pop on their scalp, that's when they start getting affected by this stuff. It's just something else to take into account there, DIA. I'm sending this to you, DIA, because I hope you know about this stuff. Okay.
They used to say guns don't kill people. People do. Well, people don't. They get emotional, disobey orders, aim high. Let's watch the weapons make the decisions. Now, trust me, these were all bad guys.
All right, now stop and think for a second. Let's say that in the United States military has had cyborg technology for a long time, but I think this nanotechnology is floating around in the air is something new, right? Let's say the NSA or the FBI or whoever it is had this technology and they were going to keep it under wraps and it was just going to float around and protect everybody, and it was basically going to be the new police, right? There's a new sheriff in town. It's going to be this technology, but nobody knew it existed, and it was going to feed a computer, and if the computer seen anything going on, it would it can actually manipulate the people around it and all that stuff, and it can prevent crime. No problem. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's still fucked up that you're not telling the public about this. However, let's say that you had that technology and somebody hacked it, right? And turned it on your own country, okay? And I'm almost convinced that this has taken place. I think somebody's figured out how to hack our nanotechnology that y'all were keeping under wraps, and it is being used to not only drive veterans into suicide, okay, unless it's the FBI's Operation Vigilant Eagle that's doing that, all right, which is an absolute ridiculous law that Obama left behind with an exascale computer, which makes me wonder if the FBI is complicit in the mass suicides of veterans, which when this technology showed up, it made me want to commit suicide. Of course, it didn't really make me want to because I'd never do that. But I could see how it would, drive somebody into suicide. It fucking tortures you, okay? It tortures you. It'll drive you nuts.
Now that is an airstrike of surgical precision. It's one of a range of products. Trained as a team, they can penetrate buildings, cars, trains, evade people, bullets, pretty much any countermeasure. They cannot be stopped.
Okay, this nanotechnology that I'm talking about, you can't see it, you can't taste it. Only reason I can see it after my vision got turned on from when the military made me a cyborg, I can see it now. Okay, now I know what I'm dealing with, and I'm telling you, this stuff, like President Putin said, it undermines your mind and your body, and sometimes you don't even feel it. Okay, that's exactly what he's talking about. He was talking about technology when he said that. If you'll just watch that Putin's dog whistles.
Now, I said this was big. Why? Because we are thinking big. Watch.
This shit's evil.
$25 million order now buys this. Enough to kill half a city. The bad half. Nuclear is obsolete.
I think they're legitimate. I mean, like not legitimately, but I believe truthfully that they're going to use this to curb the population trend. It can also make you where you can't reproduce, all right, like females and stuff like that. I mean, I felt it crawling around on my nuts. I need to go find out if I have a sperm count. I mean, I think they're using this technology to, in Hillary Clinton's email, it said white males are an endangered species. Well, I can tell you right now, everybody that I've seen that's extremely affected by this is a white male. All right. And, if you're a veteran, well, that doesn't do you any good either because they want to remove patriotism from the country. They're using this nanotechnology to wipe out patriots. Okay. They want to, how do you remove patriotism? You remove the patriots. All right. I've touched on this in other videos, but they're using this technology for nefarious purposes. They ruined my life with it. Okay. I didn't do anything wrong. It just showed up here because I was married to a Russian and I was a veteran. That was it. That was all it was. There was no other reason that I can think of that a technology would come here and attack me and try to assassinate me. Don't forget this thing put me in the hospital 3 times with a heart attack, all right? And it will entrain your heart. It will entrain, it is very sophisticated. Alex Jones talks about a breakaway civilization. This is the same technology that the elite are using to embetter themselves. Now they've weaponized it and they're going around taking people out, all right? Okay, DI? I mean, yeah, I hope you get all of this. Like, you actually watch these videos and understand that what I'm telling you is not bullshit. This is factual.
Take out your entire enemy, virtually risk-free. Just characterize him, release the swarm, and rest easy. These are available.
Just characterize him, release the swarm, and rest easy. Okay. Sure. So you're going to leave that up to AI, who thinks I climbed up on a ladder and fucked a giraffe and plays that in my head scoop and shit all the time? It actually believed that. All right. You see the flaws you have here? This thing actually thought that it couldn't decipher between Kavanaugh. It was in Kavanaugh's head up there muling around. That's how they come up with information on politicians, okay? And they set that up beautifully with Kavanaugh, right? That was a setup. And here's what they did. They proved that the computer could not tell the difference between running a train on a slut and gang rape. All right. The girl came back 10 times in a row to get gang raped. No, man, she liked it. They were running a train on that bitch. Okay, seriously. All right, and the computer couldn't decipher the difference, so the media, their little crime syndicate they got there, was judge, jury, and the fucking executioner is what they are. I mean, it's just it's ridiculous, and they basically. Ruined Kavanaugh, tried to, and all he did back when he was in college was run a train on somebody. That wasn't gang rape. The computer couldn't tell the difference, and that's why I'm pretty sure the military used me to prove a point, because they probably knew, I had a little training. I kind of had a little bit of training. I won't get into that, but yeah. So you can come up with shit like climbing up on a ladder and fucking a giraffe, okay? And I'm just trying to prove a point here, all right?
Today, we have a distribution network taking orders from military, law enforcement, and specialist clients.
The nation is still recovering from yesterday's incident, which officials are describing as some kind of automated attack, which killed 11 U.S. senators at the Capitol building.
They flew in from everywhere but attacked just one side of the aisle. It was chaos. People were screaming.
You can see.
Okay, that was side talk for political. Now you got the White House in the background. They flew everywhere and just attacked one side of the aisle. All right. Look. Okay, the Democrats are kind of like the media. I think they're using this technology to embetter themselves. But the only problem is it's making them retarded. They're talking about fucking cow farts. Okay, now I can watch the news, and I mean, you got like Nunes and any conservative pundit. Rand Paul. I mean, there's several Republicans that I've noticed. They're under the gun. They are being held hostage by this technology. They are under the gun, and so is President Trump. I'm telling you, this technology is basically a coup d'etat on Washington. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to say that the Democrats are behind it, but the elite are, okay? And the elite are the people who actually put politicians in power. They're the ones that get them elected. Politicians don't just come from grassroots. They go pick somebody they want to be a fucking politician, and they use this technology to get dirt on them, and then they own that politician, all right? And there's some clean Republicans out there, and if they didn't have dirt on them, they're just fucking choking them out right now with this technology. And I can't believe that they haven't started talking. I mean, what is going on here? Why isn't anybody talking? Has it put everybody completely to sleep? I mean, it's absolutely nuts. Somebody needs to talk to Nunes, okay? I'm telling you, military, go talk to Nunes. He knows what's going on. He is under the gun from this technology, all right, for information that he was getting ready to expose. What's that tell you?
Windows, very small, precisely punctured to gain entry to the building.
What did you do for the victim?
I just did what I could for him. Things weren't even interested in me. They're just buzzing.
Government sources admit the intelligence community has no idea who perpetrated the attack.
I'm starting to wonder. Why do you think I've been sending you all this information, DIA, CIA, generals, FBI? I don't even send y'all anything anymore. I'm just about decided that y'all are behind it. I mean, if you're not, you're damn sure not doing your fucking job, okay? That exascale computer of yours, it's got a mind of its own. All right, I'm almost convinced of that. And y'all need to get this shit in check. You need to start doing your job. And if it turns out that the military finds out that you were actually behind this 40,000 suicides a year from veterans, and this technology is being used to remove patriotism, you do realize they're not going to worry about a courtroom or anything like that, right? I hope you understand that. I mean, they're gonna just come in shooting. Okay. Literally, they will come in shooting. There won't be a military tribunal. There won't be anything like that. You have committed an act of war, they'll come in there and blow your asses up. And I cannot believe they haven't done it yet.
Nor whether it was a state, group, or even a single individual.
So if we can't defend ourselves, then we strike back.
We are investing very heavily in classified defense projects.
We make it our deterrent like our nuclear deterrent. We stockpile in the millions, the billions.
At key facilities. The White House, the New York Stock Exchange, Wall Street.
Safe in their homes.
Well, we wish we had boots on the ground in every community.
Anyways, this actually, I'll let it play here. This shows how terrifying it can be.
human rights thing about oppression.
It can be used for terror.
Honey, you're not going into politics, are you? I mean, no.
Safety.
Well, I'll tell you
Said
what.
it would be.
I'm just going to let it, the name of the video is Palm-Sized Flying Killer Robots, aka Slaughterbot. Just watch the video. I've already made my point. But this thing can be used for terrorism, and it's being used for terrorism. It terrorized me, okay? It came here and ruined my life. It terrorized me. It's being used for terrorism. And if the FBI is using this because it thinks I'm an extremist, y'all are nuts, okay? How in the hell could you figure that I'm an extremist? All right, or whoever's using it. It may be a foreign entity that's using it on us. I'd like for somebody to start looking into this and figure it out. I mean, it's turning everybody into a bunch of fucking zombie slaves. It's a technocracy gone wrong. Somebody hacked our shit, and y'all should have came out whenever you started using this in the first place to manipulate the minds of the whole fucking country. You should have said that that's what you was going to do and made sure people was on board with it. Now your shit's hacked, and it's going to get exposed, and you're going to get us roamed, and that's probably exactly what they wanted to happen. You seeing how that's going to pan out there? Anyway, somebody needs to come out and start talking. All right, I'm tired of this shit affecting my life the way that it is. It's illegal. It's absolutely illegal for this technology to come here and manipulate my mind and control me. All right, or shut me down whenever I try to go make money. It's basically all it can do to me. It can't manipulate me very much, but it can definitely shut my mind down anytime I get ready to make money or support myself or anything like that. That's about the only capability it has other than putting me in the fucking hospital. All right, this shit's got to end. Somebody needs to start doing something about this shit.